Hey everybody, Mark, DoctorDeadwax, recent vinyl finds number 20. Um, this is a rock night, so if you're looking for jazz, sorry. First, again, I'm going to mention a member of the VC that's somewhat new, and I think he's got like a dozen videos, only 50 subscribers, so, you know, obviously he's, some people have missed him. His name is Hip to You, Sean. Shows some interesting stuff. Put the link down below. Check out his videos. Watch a couple of them. See if he fits with you. If he does, sub him up, and away we go. Next is Punk Texas is doing the vinyl community record shelves thing again. He did it last year. Huge success. It was, well, at times it was like an ad for IKEA. It's like, but that won't be the case this year because Wes has built shelves. Have you seen Wes's shelves? If you've not seen Super Wes, go see his shelves. Wes built shelves. They're fucking incredible. And he can now go into business being the official shelf supplier to the VC, and we'll put IKEA out of business, which is okay because Andreas might be moving to Ohio soon. Is that a Frank Zappa song? Anyway, so Punk Texas is his name, and take a photo of your record shelves. And yes, Ginkgo wants to be in the photo of the record shelves. Take a photo of your record shelves and send them to recordshelves@yahoo.com. There, she won't hang around. Okay, first record, David Gilmour, About Face. This is David Gilmour's second solo record. Now the cats are fighting. 1984. And this is just standard pressing on Columbia. Of course, it has TML in the deadwax because all Pink Floyd and Pink Floyd solo projects were at this point being pressed at or being mastered by Doug Sachs at TML, the Mastering Lab, and you know, because he was the best and the boys got the best of everything. Now, David did a solo album in '78 called just self-titled, and I think that's a pretty excellent album. And I don't know, this album never quite gels. It seems slightly dated for the time. Some of the songwriting it's not the greatest. Lyrical writing is not the greatest. Presentation is not the greatest. If you're looking for a David Gilmour solo record, I highly recommend you buy his first solo record from '78 and not About Face from '84. We're on here. Because it's a much better album. And I think he knew that too, because he didn't do another solo record till like 2006 on an island. Next is a trio. Let's say a trio of records. Dire Straits, self-titled, Dire Straits, Communique, and Dire Straits, Love Over Gold. I bought all of these off of a seller online, like on a forum, selling off a list. I paid $10 for each of these. He advertised them as German pressings, and I thought, I have some nice Dire Straits pressings, but I'm always looking for, I think Dire Straits are a great brand. I think the first four records, self-titled, Communique, Making Movies, and Love Over Gold are just, I think they're masterpieces. You know, a lot of people just dismiss them. Maybe it's because Knopfler's quite a prick, but this record is, it's fantastic. And what a out of the box. Everybody texts now when I'm doing videos. It's like 1:30 in the morning and people are texting me. Out of the box, like this record, I mean, how many bands would kill to have this be the only record they ever released? So the problem, though, with these records is he didn't say that they were not originals. They're later German reissues, that are from a digital source. They're like digitally remastered from like 1985 or 6. And you can kind of tell, if you're looking at German records, you can kind of tell, you know, see how one of the options there is for the CD, so that's not a label. It's got a cool label though. It's got the Spaceship Vertigo label with, you know, in just kind of a monochromatic black and orange, or black and red. Is that orange or red? Anyway, so, and all three of these records have that. So this record sounds fine, but it doesn't sound as good as my second UK pressing, which I got as a child from a family member who came to Canada on vacation. I got it for Christmas. So I'm not keeping this. And this is great. This is a great, great record. And I think side 2, I think this record is grossly overlooked as a Dire Straits record, and just a record in general. This is a, you know, most bands fall on their feet on their second record. You know, they say you have your entire musical career, you have your entire life before you get a record deal to write your first record, and you have a year to write your second. And a lot of bands, they put out great first albums and their second album suck. This is, in many ways, it's better than the self-titled album. And side 2 of this, with Lady Writer, Angel of Mercy, Portobello Bell, Single-Handed Sailor, and Follow Me Home, fantastic. And of course, this is when David Knopfler, his brother, is still in the band, because soon he would kick his brother out of the band. And, you know, eventually, in Mark's revisionist way, David Knopfler was never in the band, according to the official Dire Straits website. There's no mention of his brother. And then, you know, again, we're here. The third one has that little CD logo, and it has, you know, digital mastering. So, and this is Love Over Gold. This is one record I've never been able. I want to find a Qui-X one. The promotional pressings of Love Over Gold were pressed on Qui-X vinyl, and supposedly they're better, but I can never find a version of this, it's on the same label again, that has, that's quiet during Telegraph Road and Private Investigations. They all seem to suffer from any kind of little bumper thing on them, and it kind of ruins the sonic. And those songs are so soft and subtle, and they have the builds and the swell and the quiet and all that contrast that, you know, one day I'll find a quiet version. So none of these are staying, because none of these sound better than my analog source pressing. So, but, you know, I guess my fault for not asking better questions. And, you know, they're clean enough, so I'll get $10 a piece for each of them. After all, they are German. And then finally, I don't know, what can I say? No beer tonight. A grail. Just a total fall in my lap grail. Came up on like our Craigslist, and I wrote and said, you know, I have to go do a whole bunch of stuff. Will you hold this record for me? And I had to go out with my wife, and we had to go out with her mother for dinner and the whole thing. And I told my wife on the way to dinner that, on the way to pick her mom up, I said, yeah, you know, I hope later tonight I'm going to go pick up this record. And she's like, later? It'll be gone. I'm like, well, she says, no, go pick it up. So we went and picked it up, because this is a grail. This is kind of a grail for me, but this is a grail for my wife. This is an original first UK pressing of Dead Can Dance, Into the Labyrinth. And this is, you know, 4AD, of course. And it's in really excellent condition. Unfortunately, there's a song on side 1, the second song, that's a very, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. That's a very, like, almost just vocal only track. And there is like the faintest little scuff on here that you can barely see, but sadly it ticks the whole way through the song. And there's a spot somewhere else in the Deadwax that has a little tick in it, but other than that, the rest of the record's great. And, you know, this is a very hard record to come by. It's 1983. You know, vinyl was dead. This record was never released on vinyl in North America. The only copies, I believe, are UK based. There is a MoFi pressing that came out in the past year or so that everything I've read says it's substandard. So to find this original pressing, and you know, to have my wife encourage me to go and pick it up, that was great. We just called her mother and said, blamed it on me, said I was somewhere else. I was late. I was looking at records. She understands that. Everybody understands. Oh, Mark's late. He's looking at records. Anyway, $10. And when I was there, guy had a whole bunch of other records, and he said, "Do you want to look through them?" And I looked through them, and I grabbed another 20 records off of them, kind of direct-to-disc pressings, and all kinds of really, you know, weirdly good stuff. Probably not a lot of it that I'll end up keeping, but you know, a lot of some of it's really good. There's some Sheffield Lab. There's some direct-to-disc. Anyway, good luck. So, and you know, isn't this a great album? Some people think Serpent's Egg is better. Some people like this better. I like this. This is kind of what I think of when I think of Dead Can Dance. So, there was no way I was going to buy one of these offline. So, the Three Dire Straits records, you know, they're great records. I already have them. The upgrade didn't upgrade. And this, David Gilmour, About Face, it's not a bad record. It's not a great record. It's kind of mediocre, and with there being so much great music that Gilmour's been a part of over the years, I think you can always go to something else. You don't have to listen to mediocre just because it's Gilmour. So that's it. Those are today's 5. We'll see you again. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.